Okay, folks, this is Tony Aguilar again, and I don't know if you guys this morning, but we finished up painting the Hungarian light horse this morning, and since then we have finished them completely. We've gone ahead and sealed them. I'll have you guys take a look at what we got here. Oh, guys drinking on the job. These are the 6 light horse, so it will consist of the 3 light horse elements for the Hungarian army. So that's these here in 720 glory, 720p glory. So they've been gloss coated with the spray, they've been flat coated with the spray, and then the last finish that I do is I put this on them and let them dry. So they're pretty flat right now. So I'm gonna move these guys off to the side, and we're gonna do the basing on them and have a little bit of a monologue there. You guys have any questions? Just join on in. So we're gonna grab our good old Whitco stands. We're gonna need 3 stands of these. And these are 40 by 30 stands. So they come in 2 parts. These are the 3mm thick ones. And get the magnet bottoms of that size. Here we go. Got plenty of them. I'll buy a 50 pack last time. Yep. And these are the heavy duty magnets because they actually sell them in a couple different varieties. Of course, you don't have to put anything on the bottoms of them. You can just leave them barren, but they have the standard duty ones, which what they started off before. I've got a couple of armies that have the standard strength stands, but these are the heavy duty ones, so they stick a little bit better to a metal surface. All right, so before we pop those guys off, let's trim these up so they just stick. I don't know what kind of stick they have on here, but they're not coming off basically. So just line them up on one end and just press them on. And then of course, this is one of my favorite things to do is figure out who's going to go on what stand. We don't know that. I don't pre-plan all that stuff. I just kind of paint the guys for variety, and then I match them up when we get to this stage. If you do too much planning ahead of time, it just slows down your whole painting process. So. All right, let's get these little paper things out of the way so I don't blow them around with a fan. Fan's not even that high, but they want to misbehave today, looks like. All right. So all we're gonna do all we're gonna do is, now these are supposed to be cut to the same size, but for whatever reason they're not. And luckily the magnets are larger than the stand. So I just take an X-Acto knife here to the edge and just make sure that the magnet is not protruding larger than the stand, because I like my stands to fit flush next to each other. Nothing more annoying than having a couple stands, and the guys just won't sit next to each other, and it becomes an issue. So okay, and I'm not sure what exactly they use to stick the back of these things, but it's a great adhesive. I hope they don't never change that. So Last time I ordered these, actually, the owner sent me a note, and he thanked me personally for my reorder. I guess he could tell if I've reordered before. And I was like, I push all your products all the time. I don't want free stuff from them, but I don't want free stuff from anybody because if your quality starts going downhill, man, I'm gonna go the other way. Sorry, you know. Uh, I don't make a very good sales weasel. So, but his stuff has been great so far. So I know some people in Europe can't really order Litgo stands. The shipping just eats them alive. But I'm sure you guys have a similar material out there. Although I don't know if they use plywood over in the UK. I don't think there's any trees left for them to plywood. Say MDF is big over there. It's like things that are made of cork are really expensive here, and they're cheap in the UK because Portugal's right around the corner. Maybe they get a discount on those things due to that old. That I think they still have a treaty with Portugal. It's like the longest running treaty ever, like made during like the beginning of the Hundred Years' War. So, but that's where all the cork comes from is Portugal. So it's a lot closer to the UK than it is here. Right, one other end. Okay, now we're all set with that. Good morning, Greg. I think it's morning. Yeah. Yep, just got in. So these Hungarians are done. This is done. We're going to be epoxying these guys down. We just don't know who's going to be on what stand. So let's think about that a little bit. And let's put the camera here where you guys can see what the thinking process is. So we've got, I got to stop looking at the screen because the screen to me looks almost like it's a Charlie Chaplin movie. It's not moving at the speed that you guys are probably seeing. All right, so MDF. Yeah. Have you ever had a problem with MDF warping? I don't know if that's a warping material. MDF, as I like to call it, it's clipboards. What clipboards are made out of. So, what the clipboards here are made out of. Of course, we've got plastic clipboards. So we've got three stands, and we've got three stands of light horse. So we've got these two poses. We've got these two poses, and we've got these two poses. So in a perfect world, none of the stands will have two of the same pose. Okay, so that means this guy will go on, say, that stand. This guy will go on, say, that stand. All right. This guy that goes next to him will be different on each of them. So in other words, one of that pose will be there. The other one will be here. I'm sorry, and another one of these will be here, and then these two will have these two poses. Okay, so what we have here is a plausible. Let's see if we can move this around. A plausible solution, because we want all different poses on these stands if possible. We'll move them so that they fit the camera. Okay. Now the question is it going to be these guys in particular? Well, let's take a look. All right. This guy's yellow and he's got a blue guy with him, and they're both brown horses, but they're not the same color brown. So that seems to work okay. I don't see any issues there. This guy is a dark brown colored horse, and this is a red one. I don't see any issues there with coloration where it looks dumb or something. And then here we've got this red one and this other one, and they're two different poses. So, for instance, if I was to exchange these two, I think I like the other scenario a little bit better because you've got some red details here that also match the horse, so it doesn't give you as much variety. I think that's a better variety than it was. So now the question is, do I like this better? I don't, because you got blue and then you got blue there. So I think I hit the nail right on the head, exactly like that. So that's what we're going to go with. Okay. All right. So let's pop these jokers off here. And as I mentioned, I use super glue to glue these guys down. So sometimes it can be a little challenging. Let's hope this isn't one of those times. So we just go underneath here and just wiggle it a little bit, and look at that. Bam. All right, so he's done. And this guy here. Okay. Make sure he stands up straight. I know I'm going to have a problem with these guys because the surface area of their feet is so damn small. When I go to epoxy them, I'm going to have to wait till the epoxy is almost dry to stick this guy on here. But we knew that going in, because that happened to me when I glued them down on this stand. I think I may have actually had to use epoxy with that guy because the super glue he just was not behaving. Okay. You've never had any warping. Even MDF bases I use for terrain pieces have never warped. Well, that's excellent. Okay, it's a good material. Yeah, MDF is really similar to the stuff that they build every damn house out of here in this country. OSB. And it's basically wood chips. It's plywood, but it's made out of wood chips, so. You gotta go, but you just got here. Geez, you're the busiest retired person I know. Have a good day, Greg. And your homework assignment when you get back is to catch up on all the videos. So do some painting of your own while you're doing that. All right, we'll put those two guys go together. Of course, we'll recycle these stands. No problem there. And this guy here. Go like that. Now, let's make sure these guys can kind of stand up on their own for the most part. Look at that guy. Perfect balancing act. But that's what you want to see. And this guy's pretty close. Yeah, he's going to be a troublemaker. That's all right. All right, those two guys go together. Those guys are really out of balance. That guy can stand on his own. This is a good balanced pose. Some of these other ones, not so much. All right, let's go get our friend Mr. Epoxy. I know I've got a... What is this? Some scores or something on there. I'm not sure if that's important. Better save that. I've gotten in the habit lately of when we do games, not to that is filmed, not to record my scores. I figured I'll just get it later when I watch the video. Man, it's a pain in the ass because I had to play catch up. I think there was like 12 games that I hadn't recorded the score, like on my score log. So I had to go in there and record them so I could add them to my win-loss thing. I mean, I knew I had won them or whatever, but I didn't know what the score is, so I'm anal retentive like that. All right. Uh-oh. No toothpick. Let's go get us a toothpick. I'll be right back. We're gonna need one of those. all the stuff I have, and I didn't have a toothpick handy here. Nope, I got one now. All right, so this is just a 5-minute epoxy, and that's pretty much what I use to glue my figures down. It works well for me, and it's very handy and lasts forever. Like these 2 bottles were $10 or something like that. And I don't know that I'm ever going to run out, honestly. I've used maybe a fifth of them, maybe a sixth of them. Okay. This is just DevCon 5-minute epoxy. Yeah, 2 of these bottles. Stuff is done well. Okay. All right, so let's mix this stuff up. And then we're probably going to wait about 4 minutes and 45 seconds. We need to set this stuff to set pretty well because these guys are very they're very flimsy. They'll be fine with the epoxy on it. So we're going to let this set for a little bit. So after you get these guys set down, we'll let the epoxy dry for, I don't know, 30 minutes or something like that. I'm going to start laying down the groundwork, literally. And that's this stuff right here, Liquitex resin sand. We'll mix a couple of rocks in there and let that dry. Well, it's normally I would say overnight, and it'll be overnight in this case because it's kind of late. It's well, it's 6:30 at night, so I'm not gonna wait till 2 o'clock in the morning. You need about 6 hours for it to set properly. So in the morning I'll come in and paint the bases on these 3. That's at least the idea. So now normally I wouldn't be able to because of being a work day, but I am off the next 2 days. So that is hopefully we'll see some extra painting and or gaming the next 2 days from me. So stay tuned. All right, so we need to let that set for a little bit, and we'll go ahead and take that opportunity to put this away. And while the basing is drying, I got to decide what the hell I'm going to do next. I got to decide what units am I going to do next. I may end up doing the Bowman, because I was originally just going to build a late period army, and well, we'll see. I feel like doing some knights. All right, how you guys doing over here? Still too wet? All right, got it. So anyhow, it's starting to set a little bit there. The yeah, there's a lot to do to this army. I was originally only going to build the late version of the army, which has the war wagons instead of the bowmen. But I started reading about this guy's dad, John Hunyadi, and I figured, well, I could probably use them as well. So those would be the 3 knights, not the 6 deep knights, the double base knights. All right, we're getting a little closer now. All right, let's take a look. Let's see who can stand on their own. That guy can't. This guy definitely can't, okay? But this one. This is the one that's well balanced, cool. But this one, not well balanced at all, all right? What about here? Not well balanced and not well balanced. All right, well, we'll need to have this set yet even more. Maybe another 30 seconds, we'll check it again. But yeah, we got a lot more to do on this. We've got a command knight stand. We've got two deep knights, two regular knights. If I build the earlier version that converts to that, two bowmen, and two war wagons. All right, we're getting closer here. Which is the guy that balances well? This one? All right. Let's start off by sticking him like so. Okay. And this one, same post, so this guy should balance all right. Well, he's supposed to. What's his deal? There we go. He'll go on the opposite side of the stand, obviously a different stand. That's a problem with letting it dry too much. You get these little trails of stuff. And he will be over here aiming. All right. Now this is the other figure that's here, but he's incorrigible and he's falling over all the time. So, yeah, I gotta move quick, or this is gonna be too. How to make a mess 101. This guy will be over here. Okay. And this guy, yeah, it goes from too wet to, oh snap, you know, in a moment. See if we can use this. I'm gonna have to mix up some more at this point. So we'll put this guy here. Put this guy here. Yep, this is stuck. This has actually never happened to me of all the stands I've had, because I've never had to wait this long to glue these guys down because they just won't stand up on their own. All right, get the epoxy back out. Don't need a whole lot. Just enough to glue two guys. And having a longer setting epoxy wouldn't help because I'd still have to wait till the very end of the process. Oh well, no big deal. All right, here we wait. Yeah, so these guys are, and it'll keep hardening for like the next, I don't know, half hour or something like that. But you can't use super glue with this. I mean, the guys wouldn't stand still long enough for that to even be a thing. So, gotta just be patient. Just one of them things. Yeah, so this guy's on the right-hand side of the stand holding up his sword, so this guy will be on the left-hand side. This guy will be over here. And then this guy will be looking out over that way. That way you can make them look kind of regular looking. And you know, the fact that this is all gooped up here, not a problem because it's going to be covered up completely. So, all right, how are we doing now? All right, which one of these is the guy that has no issues with that? This one. No, looked like he didn't have any issues. Oh well, it's the biggest challenge I've had with these guys, so not a problem. Yeah, because definitely need to get this stuff to set overnight. Now, this thing's magnetic. Literally can hold these guys upside down. So, all right, now how are we doing? Still. I'm not sure how far off you can be on the mix of the resin and the hardener on the epoxy. It seems like you could probably be off by 25% and it won't make a difference. Any more than that, you may end up having an issue. But you know, it's not a precise measurement when you get those two tubes together. But if I was a super glue fan, it wouldn't have worked to glue these guys down. They're just too all over the place. And that's just, they have very animated poses and they have a very small base, which is kind of nice because you don't have to worry about trying to cover that over when you're doing the basing process. But all right, what do we got now? We hardening up? Okay. All right. And the one that's got to be really hard is this one here. That guy on the end. Okay. And then we'll come over here. And we'll do this. Very animated horse. Okay. So here they are. We'll let them set for a little bit. Let's clean this area up. And let's get our tools out. Which is the newest one? That one? All right, we'll do him last. Okay, this should be stiff enough to do that. All right, so we're just gonna grab this stuff here. Let's move these guys off to the side. And focus on that. And this is great stuff. This is I found I discovered this stuff. Don't you like it when people say that? When I discovered it. No, it was already discovered. No, I discovered it for me. About 2009, 2008, 2009. I think my first army that I did with this stuff was, I think, my samurai. Could be wrong. But yeah, they had it at Michael's. It was a craft store here in the US. And I looked at it, and I like Liquitex stuff. And I just picked it up one day and been using it for basing ever since. Been really happy with it. So, beats the heck out of mixing up real sand with Elmer's glue and into your own concoction and then waiting for it to dry overnight. So, and with Light Horse, I don't worry about painting the. If you watched any of my other videos, I'll paint the base of the figure on it in brown, my base color brown before I get to this step, because it's very hard to reach underneath the horses. I don't have to do that now. There's only two horses on these stands, so I can get up in where I need to. It's not an issue. I don't want to add more steps to my process if I don't need to. I take long enough as it is. So, well, we should have a game night tomorrow. I do not know what the theme is going to be yet. I'm trying to wait on some people to respond to it, and some people take a lot longer to respond than others. I think we're going to have 4 players. That's the gut feeling I'm having right now. Let's set this off to the side. We got one of these brushes over here that ain't got no loving. Let's see. That we used to poke around stuff with. It's even a finer tip. This one right here. Just move this stuff in. To places where it needs to go. Kind of nice. I don't have the Sunday blues because I don't have to work tomorrow or the next day. So that's kind of nice. Normally, I don't like Sundays at all. People like to complain about Mondays, but Mondays don't bother me as much as Sundays. Let's see if we can hide some of this base a little bit. All right. And before I make the cardinal sin, if I did what I've done before, let's go ahead and get some of these rocks here and make sure they're pressed in there where they need to be before it ends up drying and I forget to do that. That is just real granite right there. And let's pick some choice rocks here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 should do it. All right, I'm going to put the flat one over here. Just smush it right in there. And it's hanging out with a buddy over here. Okay, I got one over here. Another one there. And the other one like so. Okay, that stands done. Let that dry overnight. Make sure you work down the edges so you don't have any of this stuff protruding the stand. And all that you did about cutting the magnet down to the right size so that the sides fit, so that the stands fit flush, would be worthless and not useful at all because you've just not allowed that to happen in a different way. Okay, so this stand next. Let's get where's the rocks? Rocks are over there. Yeah. Two lurkers. Well, good evening to you. Okay. Man, I got a ton of notifications. Why? Yeah, I don't want notifications for that. I know I'm on my own YouTube channel. Thank you for letting me know. Got it. Okay. This is one of these things that takes time. So you gotta do this basing so that you've got time overnight for it to set. Otherwise, uh, you know, you wasted that time where it could be setting overnight. So kind of like if you've got an update to a game or something like that on your computer, you need to set that to happen overnight so you don't wake up in the morning and then you want to mess with it and you can't. So. Put a big old pile of it right there and we can move it around as we go. This stuff is water-based. So if you're lazy like I get to be sometimes and forget to clean your tools, you can just run them under hot water and this stuff will come right off. So we'll put some of that over here and we'll move it around as well. This all you doing tonight? It is all I'm doing tonight. Because I've got to let this stuff set for a few hours. So I'm going to finish this stuff up and I'm going to go spend some time thank you. Spend some time with the girls. That's at least what the plan is. Keep in mind the plan could change at any moment, but that's I want to do this because I want to get these guys done for. I want to get them based up in the morning. I want to paint them up. Now, whether that's going to happen or not, we'll see. But I definitely want to get these guys starting the drying process. Yeah, I didn't even take my contacts out. I still got them in. I'm just wearing my plus 375 Walgreens special glasses here. I don't want to wear them for regular painting, but for something like this, it should work just fine. So. Ah, poop on a stick. What is it today? The day of the mess? Stuff never happens. Come on. Got some on the tail. Just take a dry brush and wipe it off. Just slows down the process. Well, that one stand will be plenty dry by the time I get to it. Okay. Pick out some rocks. Never had one of these rocks come off because they're squished into this other material, so they're held in there a lot better than if there was just glue or something. Okay, and let's just wipe the edges clean. Just set them to dry right next to these other ones. Okay, last set. I think that was one turd too large. There we go. Let's get this in here where we can maneuver it around, get it where it needs to be. This is a great material. I know that there's some other things that have come out. I think Citadel makes their own stuff, but you know, it's bad enough. I've got probably my first 7 or 8 armies. I use the old method of doing it, which is not using this material. I don't want, and I'm not happy with the results of mixing the two. So I really don't want to find something new and have to change like 25 armies now that use this method. So. Um, and this is working pretty well for me. And as far as the material and so forth, I know there's some new Army Painter. I think has some pre-mixed stuff in different colors, and so does Games Workshop. But I try not to get too attached to anything Games Workshop. It seems to be like they change their mind, and you know, and then they don't make things anymore that you're used to. So maybe that's not on everything, but it sure seems that way on everything that I'm interested in. It's like, oh well, you know, they don't make that anymore. So. A little bit more. It's a shame this is so tedious, but it is. And the painting of it isn't quick either. I don't think there's a damn thing I do that's quick. It's just kind of unfortunate, but I just don't want to have any regrets when I'm done. I said, no, you know, I wish I would have that would have turned out better. I should have taken my time doing X, Y, Z. I'd rather not have that conversation with myself. So that would be my preference too. Just quantity doesn't matter, speed doesn't matter. I just want to be happy with the results when I'm done. So. We're almost done here. And it does contract a small amount as it dries. It's not very much, but it does contract some, a very small amount. So usually, you want to put this stuff over the edge of the base stand that the figure came with, and you won't have any issues. So this is the edge of the stand right here. All right, and let's pick out some rocks. And we got some rocks here. That should do. Those will be the ones we put on there. Let's put a big one over here in the back here in the corner, with a hanging out with a buddy. And we'll put one there, another one there, and then we'll put one here, and then one here, and then another one over here. And we're going to wipe the edges, make sure we don't have any issues. Okay. Wipe this one. And that one as well. Okay. All right. Close this stuff up. I don't want these rocks to escape. And we got the 3 stands here. These guys will be drying. And that's what they look like. This is gonna end up drying semi-clear, and we can just paint over it. So this is the 3 light horse stands for the Hungarian army. So anyhow, thanks for joining me if you did. If not, you can always watch this at a later time. But happy painting, and maybe we'll catch you guys tomorrow. You guys have a good night. Bye-bye.